Welcome to my first ever piece of content for YouTube. This video will mostly serve as a test run for the Let's Plays, reviews, or whatever else I decide to post here. I've never done this sort of thing before, so for anyone watching, please bear with me as I try to learn and hopefully make better videos in the future. I appreciate any comments, criticisms that could help me become better at this, so long as they're not like, "Hey Turd Smuggler, you suck at games," or "STFU, your voice sounds like a frog's vagina, LOL." Those are not helpful. And they hurt. I don't even think frogs have vaginas. I guess you'd know better than me. Anyway, this video is my run of the final fight in The Last of Us DLC, Left Behind. So spoiler alert if you haven't played this yet. I made a few mistakes. This was far from a perfect run, but it shows a basic strategy for beating this pretty tough section. Honestly, I think this might be the toughest scene in The Last of Us DLC or the main game. It took me several tries. Some people probably just blasted right through it. If you did, happy for you. I'm sure your cock is huge. I'm envious, I really am. But I had a lot of trouble with it, so I'm posting this one little section here. Eventually, I do want to do a complete Let's Play of the DLC. I probably won't do the main game. There's enough of those on YouTube right now. But eventually, I would like to do a Let's Play of this DLC. This short clip is simply a test run, so if you're having difficulty with this section of the DLC, you should probably watch something else. There are better videos out there. But if you're curious as to how I got through it, let's take a look. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is take down these two guys to your left and right. Hopefully you've got at least 2 or 3 arrows on you. Just real quick, take both of them down, and hopefully you can get your arrow back off of this guy here. If not, it's not a big deal. You only really need 2 or 3 arrows in this section. The more you have, the easier it's going to be. Sometimes the enemies will drop arrows, and there is definitely always one downstairs. Hide by this little area here. This guy will come up through the hole. Just go ahead and knife him, take him down. Now you got these 2 guys over by the roll-up door. I use a Molotov. If you don't have a Molotov or a bomb or something that you can throw, hit them with an arrow, shoot one of them 3 times with a pistol, whatever you have to do. Try to kill at least one of them. But the main point is to get their attention, because once you've got their attention, they'll stop going after Joel and come after you. I like to hide behind this counter here. You have your back protected. They can only come either from the left or the right, so it's a little bit easier to just kind of sit and wait for them. Bottles and bricks are your best friends, as you see here. You get that instant kill with the knife, and Ellie doesn't have a limit on her shivs. There's one more guy, and I'm gonna kind of get lucky with the way I take him down, because I was kind of sleepy when I recorded this. I'm actually gonna throw the brick after he passes me, but somehow I hit him anyway, so I went ahead and took that. Now everybody's dead. Once she says that's that, you know everybody's done in this wave of enemies. Just kind of run around, look for any, try to get your arrows back if you shot off arrows. There's health scattered throughout the area. There's pistol ammo. There's always an arrow downstairs by the roll-up door. We'll see that later. So if you did only have one, or have maybe 1, 2, 3 arrows, or if you didn't get your arrow back, you can always get it back downstairs, or get another one downstairs. I didn't have enough to make a Molotov here, but I do have enough to make a bomb. If you weren't, scouring the areas before here looking for supplies on survivor mode, you might not have the fixings for a bomb. You can also make a smoke bomb. Personally, I don't really use those. I didn't use them in the main game either. But bombs and Molotovs make this area a lot easier, especially if you can get a group of enemies. I'm actually going to use this bomb later on in this video. I suggest trying to have the materials to make it if you can, but I got through this. My first time running through this area, I had like 2 arrows, no bombs. I think I had the Molotov, but I used it differently. You can get through this without all these supplies, but it makes it a lot easier the more you have, obviously. But the main thing is, like I said, come in with at least maybe 2 or 3 arrows. If you can, try to have a Molotov. If you're already in this situation, you might be watching this video because you don't have any of that and you keep dying. The main thing I can say is, keep moving. And remember that there's ammo all over the place here. You're not going to run out of ammo unless you're just a really bad shot. You always have pistol ammo. There are bricks and bottles. Use that knife. And You know, after this first wave, just run around. Like I said, there is ammo. I couldn't really... I was kind of tired when I had done this, and I couldn't remember where things were, so I just kind of ran around everywhere just to make sure I wasn't forgetting anything. The second wave of enemies, they're going to drop... I think there's one guy that drops alcohol, and he pretty much drops at every fight, I think. But I don't know if it's random which guy it is. This ammo is always here, a couple shots for your pistol. And you're going to see when I go back by the roll-up door, there's an arrow that always sits on that little table. And I think the guy, when I threw that Molotov, I think one of those guys dropped some pistol ammo as well. That's not guaranteed. There's a certain element of randomness to the drops and to the behavior of the AI. Where they're going to walk, what they're going to do, and a lot of that is based on how much you alert them. So like if I would have thrown that Molotov and just you know, alerted that guy and ran to a different area, I would have had the bad guys maybe go off in totally different directions. So kind of try to stick to the same pattern I am here, and there's that arrow, there's my pistol ammo, and this should work out pretty well for you. I've done this many times. There can be little variances. Usually that first area goes pretty much the same way every time if you do what I did there. If you don't have that Molotov, it'll go a little different for you because you may have to shoot that guy with a pistol and then you have one more enemy to deal with. Now when these guys show up, you're going to hide here. As soon as you get control again, run into this store to your left. I don't recommend going right. I tend to find this to be a lot easier. A guy's going to come down these stairs. Sometimes he comes running down, sometimes he comes walking down. And sometimes he goes around one side of this pillar to my right, sometimes he comes just like he does here. This is the best case scenario, quick knife and he's down. If he gets past you, try to take him down, try to jump over that little thing to your right and stab him. As I found out here, these guys take 2 arrows to put down. And I had completely forgotten about that, and I kind of screwed that up. And also, there's a guy here, you see him coming running from the left. If I would have taken this first guy down quietly, that guy would have just chilled back there in the corner, and then when I came out past him, trying to go to this door, he would have jumped out and got me from behind. Now, because I made all this noise here, these other 2 guys are going to come running. You're going to see them up here on the right. If you do this more quietly, those guys come walking instead of running. But actually, it's fine for them to come running because it just gets them killed faster. Don't worry about ammo, like I said, just, you know, take these guys down. You're getting close to the end of the fight at this point. Now you have a rifle, it's a one-hit kill. This guy here, I'm not sure where he came from. I ran this fight several times, and that was the first time I had that guy come up behind me, so I'm not sure who I missed. Take these guys down. The clickers are coming now. The infected are coming. Now I'm going to forget all about this guy that just disappeared behind that box. I don't know how I forgot about him, but I did, and I got shot for it. Luckily, I've got a health kit. So that was a miss, but you know, I'm just waiting for the infected to come up. I'm going to throw my bomb here. The infected are going to take care of well, actually, I think there's only one guy left alive at this point. You can kind of run off and hide if you're not in this situation, and let the infected take care of the humans for you. But the situation I was in, I just went ahead and, okay, there was one more guy left. I just went ahead and you know, killed who I could. Like I said, you're not trying to save ammo at this point. I got one runner chasing me. Take him down with an arrow and grab out my pistol. Like I said, I've got 17 shots in this pistol, and these are the last couple, like I think there's 3 enemies left alive. I'm gonna get this guy with an arrow. I don't go for headshots here, because I have more than enough ammo to where I don't really need to. If you headshot a clicker with a 9mm, it'll stun him, which I didn't even know. I played through the main game a couple of times. I played through this DLC a few times, and that was the first time, not in this video, but I had gotten a headshot on a clicker with a 9mm, and I did not realize that it only stunned him. That was the first time I'd done it. So just keep that in mind, that you won't kill a headshot, or a clicker with a headshot. I'm not really worrying about my ammo, as I said, because that was the last enemy. So if you kind of follow this little strategy here, things might go a little bit differently for you, depending on how quiet you are, how much you alert the enemies. They'll react differently. They might come running. Sometimes that part in the store where that one guy came down the stairs that I stabbed, sometimes 2 guys will come down the stairs. The one guy that was upstairs that I hit with the 2 arrows, sometimes both of those guys come down the stairs at the same time. So there's a little bit of randomness here. This might not go exactly the same for you, but you just kind of have to adapt to those kind of things. But just kind of follow that strategy. This strategy. Don't worry about your ammo. If you have things like Molotovs, bombs, those come in handy. The only thing I recommend making sure you can try to start off with is arrows. Have at least 2 of those for those first 2 guys in the beginning. If you can have 3, even better. But there is, like I said, this arrow downstairs. Once you've taken everybody out, just open up the door, and that's pretty much the end. I mean, you have one more sequence set back in Colorado, or I'm sorry, in the past, Boston, wherever it was.
Alive, Joel.
And that's it. You pretty much beat the game at this point.